Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Welcome to another meal prep video. In today's video, it's kind of an unintentional themed video and we're going to be doing bowls. So for breakfast prep, I have yogurt and fruit bowls, and then for lunch prep is Mediterranean chicken bowls, and then I also have some dinner kits to put together and my snacks.
It's a journey for life and I'm right. Hang on, we'll be long gone.
If you're new here, welcome. My name is Kristi. I'm currently following the WW Personal Points program, but I also provide calories on my channel as well. As always, all the recipes that I share will be linked down in the description box below, and I'll also provide links to some of the items that I use, like my meal prep containers, my scale, things like that. So let's jump right into the video. So we're going to get started with breakfast, and I'm going to be making yogurt bowls. So if you're new to my channel, I meal prep for my husband and I. We usually just do 3 days, and I usually just do 3 breakfasts and 3 lunches for each of us. And then we have something different later in the week. But for the yogurt, I'm just doing 4 bowls because that's all I had for the yogurt. So for the other 2 days, I'm just going to use these oats. These are a little bit higher in points. If you're on WW, this one is 7 and this one is 6. But the calories are pretty good, 260 and 230. And I just really like to have these for a day that I don't have anything prepped. They're really easy. You can kind of do like overnight oats with them if you want. These ones have a little nut butter package on them. But what I usually do is before I leave for work, I open this and I fill, there's a fill line inside that I fill it with almond milk, unsweetened almond milk. And then I just take it with me, put it in my fridge at work, and then when I'm ready, I just heat it up. But you can definitely use water as well. Now, let me tell you how I came up with this idea for these yogurt bowls. So I use this Fage yogurt for my strombolis, and when I do, I only use a little bit out of it. And what happens is a lot of times this will sit in my fridge because I really don't eat this yogurt too often, and then I end up throwing it out. And if you know me, you know that I cannot stand food waste. So I decided that I was going to try and make some yogurt bowls out of this. The problem is my husband and I do not like non-fat yogurt. Like at all. I know a lot of people can use it in place of sour cream. I can't. I just can't get over the flavor of it. So what I did is I was actually trying to create some kind of dessert, and then it turned into, why don't I just make yogurt bowls for the week? So what I did, I had this in a big bowl, and I mixed in some Lakanto maple flavored syrup and also some monk fruit sweetener, and that really sweetened it up. But to kick it up a notch, I had added a little bit of cake batter extract. I was going to use vanilla extract, but I'm all out, so I just used a little bit of cake batter extract in it. So I was just playing around with it, so I really don't have like the exact estimates that I used for these 4 bowls. I had it all mixed in one bowl, and I was just kind of adding it and tasting it as I went. So if you're like us and you don't care for the non-fat yogurt plain, feel free to add in some sweetener, some extract, or like I said, some maple if you have sugar-free syrup or something like that. So that's what I added there. But then what I'm going to do is I want to add just a little bit of honey to each one. So if you're on WW, a tablespoon of honey is 3 points. And if you're counting calories, it's 60 calories. So I don't want to take 3 points. So I'm probably just going to add maybe about a half a tablespoon. I don't even know if that much. I'm just going to swirl a little bit on there. And what I'll do is I'll just add an extra point when I track it. So if you prefer, you can definitely use just honey instead of any of the other sweeteners. Feel free. The points and calories on these are really going to depend on what you put in it. I'm going to use about a half a tablespoon of chia seeds. You can have a half a tablespoon of chia seeds, 0 points and 30 calories. Chia seeds are excellent for heart health. I'm also going to be adding some almonds. So I actually went through last night and was putting my almonds into individual containers just for snacking for the week. So in here I have 1/8 of a cup. I have these sliced almonds. You can have 1/4 cup for 4 points or 170 calories. So I have half of that, which is, a 1/4 cup is 1 ounce. So I just weighed out half 1 ounce in there, or 1/8 cup. So these are going to be 2 points or 85 calories. And I'm going to put that in each one. I have a bunch of fruit here. I'm going to be adding some fruit. I have some kiwi over here that I've cut up, and I have 2 of them there. I'm not quite sure if I'm going to end up using the 3rd one. I have some grapes cut up, And then I also have some strawberries and blueberries here. And so many people ask me about these, so I'll be sure to link these down in the description box below. I have a great big one that I use for my greens, like spinach and mixed greens, and I absolutely love it. It keeps them so fresh for so long. And then in here I have some raspberries. My husband likes to snack on these, so I haven't quite decided if I'm going to put those in. And then I have a banana that I'm just going to cut up and put that in there as well. And then one other thing that we can add is some Fiber One cereal. So I have this Fiber One whole grain cereal here. You can have 7 grams of that for 0 points and maybe like 20 calories. So the points and calories on this are based on fruit being 0 points. So if your fruit is not 0 point, then keep that in mind. You'll have to add that. So I have it kind of scratched out because I was kind of trying to add up what it would be. So without the fruit, it came out to about 225 calories. So I figured if you added in 75 calories worth of fruit, which I don't even think you're going to add that much, you're talking about a 300 calorie breakfast. And then for the points, I estimated, let's see, 2 for the yogurt. Now, if your yogurt's 0, keep that in mind, that'll change. 2 for the almonds, and then I'm gonna add 1 point for the honey. So it's gonna be about 5 points for me. Again, if you're counting points, just remember, it just depends what you're putting into it. So in each of these, I almost wanna add a whole tablespoon of the chia seeds. I really like chia seeds in there, but I think that's gonna be plenty. And we'll probably just mix these up when we have them. Next, I'm going to put the almonds, and I'm wondering if I'm going to even use all the almonds. You could almost just use 1 point worth of almonds if you wanted. The bran. Okay, I think that's all I'm going to put in them. I think the banana will just wait and cut that up the day that we have it and put that in there, because I'm really kind of afraid the banana will turn brown. So that's what it looks like. I'm really excited to have this. So that's going to be our easy yogurt bowl. Moving on to lunch. For lunch prep this week, I'm going to be making some salads. These are going to be Mediterranean chicken bowls. So when I put it in the WW app, it came out to 6 points for me. And then I'm earning back 3 points from the veggies. So kind of nets out to 3 points for the salad. And if you're counting calories, it came out to about 400 calories. So again, for the points and calories, it just depends on what your 0 point foods are and also what brands you use. Keep in mind that some of the brands are different. For example, feta cheese, I have some other feta cheese that I had last week, and that one was 4 points for an ounce. This one is only 2 points for an ounce and 60 calories. I get this at Aldi. Let me share with you what else I'm putting in. As you can see here, I have some chicken. So for me, this is a no-cook prep day. My husband grilled these up. I really wanted to have grilled chicken in these salads, so I asked my husband if he wouldn't mind popping these on the grill this morning, just grilling them up, and he said he would as long as I gave him credit for cooking the chicken. So I'm giving him credit for cooking the chicken. So I'm gonna do probably about 4 ounces of chicken on each salad. Keep in mind, my chicken breast is 0, so I don't really, weigh it out exactly. But the points and calories, I figured it based on the 4 ounces of chicken. And then in here I have a bunch of mixed greens. So this is the container that I was talking about that I absolutely love for my mixed greens and spinach and everything. It's just really, after I wash it, I just spin dry it and put it in there, and it keeps in here for like literally about a good 3 weeks. This one that I ordered it comes in a 3-pack, and on here, if you keep it closed for vegetables, and then you open the vents for fruits. Also, I'm going to put some Kalamata olives on this. My husband does not like these, so I won't be putting it on his. I'm going to do 2 points worth on mine, which is 7 olives, but you can have 4 olives for 1 point. I think I have enough in there anyway. Yeah. And then I'm also going to put some tomato on there. I'm going to put 1 mini cucumber in each one. And then also some onion. I was getting ready to cut up onion, and then I remembered I had some red onion already in my fridge from, I don't know, a recipe I did a couple nights ago. And to keep this the Mediterranean flavor, I'm going to use this tzatziki. I think I'm saying that right. And I have 2 different ones here. I have spinach artichoke and cucumber dill. So these are both 2 points for 2 tablespoons. And for the spinach artichoke, that one's 45 calories. And for the cucumber dill, it's 40 calories. So I like to have the spinach artichoke, and then my husband likes the cucumber dill. So that's what we're going to be using for basically the salad dressing in it. So that's all that's going to go in these. I do have some avocado back here, so if I might take an avocado with me, may add that. I'm not going to cut that up and put it in it today though. So I'm just going to cut up my vegetables, the tomato and cucumber, and then the feta, I'll crumble that myself. I like to get it in the block and crumble it myself. And I'll weigh that out, 1 ounce on each one. And I'm also going to slice up my chicken as well. So here's my salad containers I'm going to be using. I know a lot of you have ordered these since I showed them last. I think I did my Big Mac salads in these last. But these are just salad bowls. They're plastic and they fit quite a bit in there. I usually put the lettuce down in there, and then that way I can put the other toppings up here. So usually anything that can make the salad soggy, I'll put on the top, like the tomatoes, cucumbers. And then it has these little containers here for any salad dressing, or in this case, I'll put that sauce in there. So that's what I'm going to be using for those. So now what I'm doing is, I don't have the lettuce in there yet, so I'm putting about 2 cups, between 2 and 3 cups of lettuce in the bottom. So right there is about 2 cups. The feta cheese I have here, and what I've done, that was 8 ounces, so I just cut it into 8 cubes, and I'll put 1 of these, so we'll have this whole thing in each one. And then over here I have my onion, and that I'm going to put actually in with the lettuce. And then that's all that's going to go in there. And then everything else I'm going to put on the top. And for the chicken, all I seasoned the chicken with before my husband grilled it was just some Lowry seasoning salt and some lemon pepper. And as you can see, I'm missing one of these. I've got to find them. When I took them apart, that one was not in there. So I have to see where that is. All right, so I'm going to leave the cheese the way it is. And I'm just going to set that in there like that. And then we'll just break that apart and put it in when we have it. And then I still got to figure out where to put my Kalamata olives. So I think for the Kalamata olives, I'm just going to put them right in here next to the cheese and the chicken. And that way, if those drain some of that oil, that'll be fine for the chicken. Yeah, put 7 in there. I was debating on whether to just put 4, but I'm going to put the 7. Also, the other thing I'm probably going to do is take a lemon with me and use maybe about the juice of half a lemon over the salad each day as well. All right, now I'm going to take my sauce, and if you want to use some other kind of dressing with this, you certainly can. So for 2 tablespoons is 30 grams. So I'm going to put it on grams, and I'm just going to see how much the 30 grams fills that. I'm pretty sure it's going to be pretty close to the top. Okay, so there's 31. So that's how much sauce will go in there. And my husband hasn't decided on his. Well, he's thinking that he might want some, just to use some French dressing in his. He's trying to decide. So now I just have to wait for my husband to decide what he wants for his dressing. So that's going to be our Mediterranean chicken bowls this week. All right, so now I'm moving on to dinner kits, and I actually have 4 of them that I'm doing this week. I know a couple of you who are going to be super excited this week. I know some of you who could care less about this part. So I've actually already put the kits together, and I'll just kind of go through quickly and show you what's in each. But if you're new to my channel and you want to see in more detail, I'll link a video down below. It's just a video that goes into more depth on how I do the DIY dinner kits. Basically, I'm just getting all the ingredients together so that way when I get home from work each night, I can just pull the kit out and it's ready to go. All right, so the first one that I'm doing, I was going to do bourbon glazed salmon, but instead I'm going to do something basic, and I'm just going to do like kind of like a Dijon salmon. I'm going to do air fryer salmon. And so in here I have about a tablespoon of Dijon mustard, and then in here I just have some paprika and garlic powder, salt and pepper. And then in here rolled up I have some asparagus. I just have a damp paper towel that I've got it kept in just to keep it from going bad. I'm going to put that in there. I have found that when I put the asparagus in the bags, it really doesn't keep good. In fact, asparagus is hard to keep even in your fridge, so I've been putting it in a mason jar with water and just putting it in there. So otherwise though, you can just take a paper towel and just put water on it, get it real damp, and wrap them up. That's the way that I store my green onions in my fridge as well. I just get a damp paper towel, wrap them right up in there. So I'm going to have asparagus with this and also some Brussels sprouts. So I'll cut these up and wash them the night that I have them. And then the other thing that I have is my salmon. This is frozen. Because I'm having this tomorrow night, I'm going to just leave this in my fridge. But the other meat, I'll show you in a minute, I'm going to keep frozen for now. So that's all I'm going to be doing for that dinner kit. And I'm just going to put this tray right in my fridge like this. It's not going to be in a bag. All right, then one night I'm going to do a chicken marsala skillet recipe. So what I do is just go through all the ingredients in the recipe and see what I can put in my kit. So one thing I did here, this one calls for broccoli, but I actually used the broccoli in another recipe. So I'm just going to use this broccoli slaw for this one. And then it calls for 6 ounces of mushrooms. I have 8 ounces of mushrooms, so I just used that whole thing. And then also some 4 ounces of fat-free half and half. I'm going to try almond milk, unsweetened almond milk in this. I haven't tried it that way, but I don't have any half and half, so I'm going to try that. Also 2 ounces of frozen peas, but I'm not going to put those in there. I'm going to leave that in my fridge. 2 tablespoons of water. I won't put that in there. Down in here, I have 2 garlic cloves. It calls for a shallot, but I don't have a shallot, so I'm just going to put onion in there. And then 3 ounces of Marsala wine. If you want to do this recipe, but you don't like to cook with wine, you definitely can use just the regular cooking wine that they have in the store. Here I have half an ounce of flour, about a tablespoon of flour. And then I have 2 teaspoons of chicken base, which is basically just, it's like a chicken base. You find it next to the chicken stock and chicken broth. These containers with the screw-on tops are actually ones that I keep when I get the meal delivery kits delivered. And then my chicken, I have 2 6-ounce chicken breasts here. This is frozen. I just took it out of my freezer, so I'll just put that in my fridge right next to the kit and let that thaw. The next one I'm going to be doing is pizza meatloaf. We love this one. So again, same situation with the meat. I just took this out of my freezer. And so basically what I do is if I'm going to be having it in the next couple days, then I will just take this out of the freezer and put it right in my fridge. It'll thaw out. So this is actually a pound, and this recipe only calls for 10 ounces. I think what I'm going to do, the 10 ounces makes enough for 2. I think I'm gonna make enough for 3 this night, and my husband can have it for lunch one day, maybe like one of the lunches later in the week. Maybe I'll make this like Wednesday and he can do it Thursday for lunch. So again, same thing with this one. I have the ground beef, and I'm using the 93% lean ground beef. This for me is 10 personal points for everything in the kit, and then 360 calories plus the vegetables. For my vegetables, I'm just going to be roasting up some zucchini. So I have a couple zucchini in there, and then everything in my kit. So in here I have 12 slices of turkey pepperoni, which like I said, I'm probably going to add some more so that I can make enough for 3. In here I have 2 ounces of Prego pasta sauce. I have a couple garlic cloves. The recipe calls for 2 slices of part skim mozzarella cheese. I didn't have any of the slices, so I just have some shredded cheese that I put in here. I'll just use that. Also, a 1/4 cup of panko breadcrumbs, and also a teaspoon of onion salt. I just have some chopped onion in here that I'm going to use. And that's it for that one. So like I said, just everything's already measured out. I get home, I pull the kit out, and that's it. And I've mentioned before, the meat I put in here just for the purposes of the picture at the end, but I do store the meat, just put it next to the bag or on top of it. That way, if it does happen to open or leak, you don't have raw meat all over everything else. And finally, the last one I'm going to be doing is a recipe from Blue Apron. This is another meal delivery kit that I used to do years ago, and I really like this recipe that they have. This one is crispy baked cod with cheesy potatoes and broccoli, so that's why I didn't have any more broccoli. I have broccoli down in the bottom there. I have 3/4 of a pound of potatoes. I have a lemon. I have about 3/4 ounce of Grana Padano cheese. I get this at Aldi, but they sell it at most stores, you know, in the specialty cheese section. But if you don't have this, you can use regular Parmesan as well. And then also a tablespoon of Dijon mustard, a tablespoon of Italian seasoning, and a 1/4 cup of panko breadcrumbs. And then the other thing we need is some cod. So over here I have my cod. These I'm going to put back in my freezer though. I'm not going to leave these. I don't like to put fish like this in my fridge for too long. Since I'm not having this till later in the week, I'm going to put it in my freezer for now and I'll pull it out later. But for now, for the picture, I'll put it in there. So that's it for my dinner kits this week. And now let me show you what I'm going to do for snacks. All right, so I'm doing my snacks this way because I pretty much already done them. Because if you watched my grocery haul, I showed on there that when I do my grocery haul, I go through and I wash all my produce and put it into the containers and everything that day. That way they're readily available for snacking. So some of these we've already gone into this weekend. I actually did my haul a couple days ago and then my daughter ended up coming over. So we've kind of snacked on some fruits this weekend. So these are basically my snacks. I have kiwi, apple, strawberries, blueberries, raspberries, grapes and cherries. I have my celery and my carrots. These ones I keep in water in these mason jars. The reason for that is I keep these like this instead of putting it in containers. Like these containers have lids, but these I'm snacking on all the time. Like pretty much whenever I open my fridge, I'm always grabbing a carrot or a piece of celery. And then I have my hummus. I love this hummus. This is garlic hummus from Aldi. That is 2 points for 2 tablespoons. And I can't remember the calories on that. Calories on that is 70 calories for 2 tablespoons. I also have some bananas. And then in addition to the fruits, I also have some cottage cheese that I may have for a snack someday. These are 2 points for a container or 120 calories. And y'all know that good culture is my favorite. I know some of you said that you have a hard time finding it. I get it at my local Publix, which I know is a store that I think is based mostly in the South. But I've heard some people say that their Walmart carries it. And then my avocado, I just have that on the table because I do sometimes have that for like a snack, like I'll have avocado toast or something. And then I also have nuts. I like to snack on nuts occasionally, but sometimes, especially these things right here, these cashews, these can get me in trouble if I eat out of the bag. So I go through and portion out. These ones, the cashews have 1 ounce in each one, and then just 1/2 ounce of the slivered almonds. So I showed you the almonds. You already saw the points and calories on those. And then these are the cashews. And for these cashews, they're 6 points or 190 calories for 1 ounce. And that's basically what I've been snacking on. The majority of my snacks have been fruits and vegetables lately. I get in these different kicks. Sometimes I get on a pretzel kick, sometimes it's fruits and vegetables. And then our gorgeous looking breakfasts and our lunches and my dinner kits. And also I wanted to point out, somebody had asked me about the sugars that are in these oats. So there is some added sugar in these. And let me see if I can focus. Like this one has total sugar 6 grams, and that includes 3 grams of added sugars. So you have 6 grams total. So 3 of them are natural sugars and 3 grams are added sugars. And then this one, you've got total sugars 3 grams. So that means the total of everything, all the sugars, is 3 grams. That includes 2 grams of added sugars, which means 1 gram of natural sugars and 2 grams of added sugars. I really like these to have on occasion. So I hope you liked this video. If you did, make sure to give it a thumbs up. If you're new, I hope you'll subscribe. Thank you all so much for watching. I'll see you in my next one.
It's a journey.